Hi, friend, and welcome back to Like Us Podcast. I'm your host, Erin Jones-Wesley, through these bonus episode play-by-plays of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We are here to find out, are the Real Housewives like us? And at the end of the episode, we will get into what the scorecard tells us. Now, I will say that this kind of felt like a little bit of a filler episode, and I know that's saying a lot on a show that people are furious about online. There are so many people who have the take that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is boring. I don't feel like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is boring, but I do feel like for this particular episode, wow, we really weren't dealing with a lot. This was a transition from everyone's back from the Hamptons, we're in Beverly Hills, and then we're going to leave pretty soon after to go to Italy. But that being said, let's get into our hot mic confessional before we get in. And I'll just say that, like, for this week, my hot mic confessional, oh my God, you guys, I didn't tell you. I almost breezed right through it. I met Bozoma St. John. I did. I met Boz at the NAACP Awards. I met her. And of course, I talked to her. And of course, she told me that she liked my video where I was talking about her in summer making the same facial expression at Amanda. And she was so nice. And it was so amazing. So yeah, look, here I am, one step closer to being a bartender on Watch What Happens Live, or maybe at BravoCon or something else. But yeah, that's my hot mic confessional, as I did meet Boz, and she was incredible in person. Okay, so when this episode starts, Rachel is talking to her sons. Erika is at a place called The Beauty Sandwich, which, like, I don't know if I want to get a facial from someplace that's like a sandwich. Like the sandwich? And then the guy is like, oh, and you're going to get everything to make your face look beautiful, but no injections. And it's like, is she going to get the thing that one model got that, like, messed up her face? I don't know. I'm worried. It's like, you can't be trying everything. Like, some stuff is just, you can't try it all. Then Sutton is hanging out with her dogs and cats, and she's eating ice cream, and she's watching TV. And Sutton gets the first like us point of the episode for this. I felt like when Sutton is, like, trying to get her TV to work and is just sitting and eating ice cream, who among us isn't doing that? You know, sometimes you just, like, curl up in front of the TV and you eat some ice cream. Now, what's funny about this is, like, she's doing it in the middle of the day, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I hope that this was a weekend. It's like in the middle of the day on a weekday. You know what? Sutton's rich. She can do what she wants. Moving on. Dorit and Boz have some champagne at Dorit's house, and I felt like in this scene, we really got an understanding as to why Dorit is the way she is. Like, she's so chaotic. Like, I have been rooting for Dorit all season, but also really picking up and noticing all the ways that she just has this, like, kind of wild energy. And in a way, like, I agree with what Kyle is saying, which we will get into later on in the episode, but I still love Dorit. I think she is really funny. And I feel like a telltale sign that someone is chaotic is when they have a loud ass dog. Like, Dorit's got those two little loud ass dogs, and, like, a divorcee with little kids and small little barky dogs. It's just an energy that you only know it if you've been around it. And it's frenetic, but it's enticing. And you want to lean in and you want to give that person a hug. And that's what Boz does. She shows up, she gives Dorit a huge hug. And Dorit is talking about all the fun that they had in the Hamptons. And I felt like it was really fun to see Boz be like, I'm happy for you. I know you probably danced and had a good time. But then Boz comes in to lay down the law. She's like, look, D, Kyle was talking shit. Because Kyle was talking shit. Like, why is Kyle talking to Boz about Dorit being erratic? It's kind of a mess. But Boz is like, yeah, Dorit, Kyle said you're kind of being kooky, and so I'm just here to check on you. And, like, I do feel like that's what a real friend should do. Like, a real friend should be like, hey, someone said this thing, and I'm just checking in. Like, I feel like Boz played it really well. But Dorit is clearly hurt to hear this because she just finished saying, like, oh, me and Kyle got along so well. And then she's like, I'm being the token idiot because I believed Kyle. I believed her. And I'm like, oh, poor thing. And then Dorit goes into, like, this is one of the funniest parts of the episode. It literally made me cackle because Dorit's like, we were together for 4 days and Kyle never told me anything. 24 hours a day for 4 days. Do you know what 24 times 4 is? And Boz is like, girl, no. And it's not that I don't doubt that, like, Boz could do that mental math, but she was like, I'm not going to do the mental math. And Dorit, you're not going to do the mental math. Let's not pretend that we're going to do that mental math right now. And we're not pulling out our iPhones to use the calculator app. We're just going to say, I don't know. And then Dorit's like, it's a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours. We're not doing this math. Concurrently to this conversation happening, Kyle is meeting up with Amanda at the Beverly Glen Deli. Now, for my non-LA folks, Beverly Hills is pretty expansive. And there's a lot of different pockets and communities of Beverly Hills. There's a gated neighborhood called the Beverly Park Estates. There are a bunch of other kind of neighboring neighborhoods to Bel Air. But there's also this very much like run-of-the-mill shopping center that's like in a neighborhood called Beverly Glen. And inside this Beverly Glen kind of shopping center is like a grocery store, a little Italian restaurant that like doesn't have plastic chairs, but is basically like a step up from the version of an Italian restaurant that has the plastic chairs, okay? Then there's like some cute little like shopping boutiques and there's like a deli. But overall, it's not anything fancy, but what makes it fancy is like the zip code that it is in. And there's a grocery store. And this grocery store has been a bunch of different brands of grocery stores, but currently Kyle's going in, she's grabbing a coffee, and it's kind of like, think about like what a boutique version of an Erewhon is. That's kind of what this grocery store is. Now, funny enough, I'm going on a little tangent, but funny enough, I met Joey King at this grocery store. And at the time, and I was just like with a friend, and at the time, we walk into the store and there she is. And I didn't know who Joey King was because the movie The Kissing Booth hadn't come out yet. And me and my friend are just talking to her and she's like, yeah, I'm here in town because I just finished a movie that I shot. And I wanted to come to LA to take, like, I'm doing some meetings and, like, my boyfriend's here with me. We're like, oh, like, that's so cool. And then the boyfriend walks out and it's Jacob Elordi. But we didn't know Jacob Elordi back then either. And so they're, like, tall and short, I remember. And, like, sometimes when I think about this memory, I go, like, was that Joey King and Jacob Elordi or did I make that up? But the height difference was so vast. And I'm like, no, it was Joey King and it was Jacob Elordi. And we were just chatting with them because they were just, like, young actors who just finished a Netflix movie. And it was like still like, when Netflix was making movies and everyone was like, oh, like that's cool, like congratulations. But like I didn't know who she was. And so we were just chatting it up. Like she had a familiar face and that was kind of it. And then they left. And I'll never forget. So every time I go, I just went to dinner up at the Beverly Glen little area like a month or two ago. And every time I'm up there, I just think to myself, like, I can't believe I just met Joey King and Jacob Elordi together as a couple before it was chaotic. Like, what a trip. Life's funny. Anyways, Kyle's there meeting Amanda, and Amanda says she gets 3 facials a month. And I feel like that's so excessive. And also, I have to be really mature to not make a facial joke. But like, Amanda's like, I get 3 facials a month. And Kyle's like, oh, fascinating. She's like, I just love the feeling. And like, to be fair, I get it. Like, getting a facial at a dermatologist's office or like a med spa, it does feel amazing. And it's like your skin feels so clean. It's like your skin feels so clean, you almost don't even want to put makeup on for like days later. You're like, my skin is clean. They got my pores good, So I get it, but I do feel like 3 facials a month is probably, I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. Like that feels like so she's getting a facial every week and a half. It's like, why? I need to unpack that a little bit more. Now, what I didn't like in the scene is I actually didn't like that Kyle was talking shit to Amanda about Dorit. Like that felt like not how you treat your friends, but it did feel like exactly how you treat your reality TV show co-star that you're supposed to have beef with. And Kyle tells Amanda, like, yeah, Dorit's just so scattered. She's so scattered. And it's like, if you really felt like your friend was scattered, shouldn't you be a good friend and actually try to be there for them? I don't know. To me, this felt a hair too far, dare I say. A hair too far. And what I also didn't like is I didn't feel like Kyle and Amanda in this conversation, they're like rolling their eyes at Dorit getting glam at 2 a.m. for their 5 a.m. flight to the Hamptons. And it's like, maybe Dorit wanted to make sure that when she showed up to the Hamptons, her makeup would look good because she had to wake up so early and she got to meet a bunch of new people in the Hamptons. Maybe she was excited. Maybe Dorit is trying to have some semblance of control in her life where so much is out of her control. It's just like, have freaking empathy. Anyway, so Kyle and Amanda, that conversation bugged me. Then we see Rachel, and Rachel's talking to her sons. And this conversation was a delight. Rachel Zoe is the star of the season. And I loved everything about what was happening in this scene with both of her boys who were kind of being like, we didn't like you and dad together and we're happy you're getting a divorce and not so many words. Fantastic. What I also felt like was so funny in this scene is like younger siblings, which I say this because I am also the younger sibling in my family, but like youngest siblings have this way about like wanting to have the truth and being like, give it to me straight. So when Rachel is like, boys, we need to have a talk. And the youngest is like, did somebody die? Is anyone sick? Which is like just such younger child energy. Like this little boy has been probably through something in his life where he's like, if someone's trying to have a talk, that means something bad happened. And honestly, if someone calls me at the wrong time, like if a family member calls me in the morning or like randomly on a weekday in the middle of the day and they're like, hey, like in my head, I've had to train myself to not say out loud, like, did someone die? Like, is something okay? And it's funny because people call me so often. I should not assume that I'm only getting called with bad news. Like people call me all the time and it's never bad news. But my head still goes like, this is a peculiar time for a phone call. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Did someone die? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I also want to know, is someone sick? Did someone die? Like, what's going on? I also felt like in this little moment, we see that Rachel's done such a good job raising her sons. They're just such good boys. Like, they just love their mom. And even though the one calls her bro, it's just very sweet and endearing in how much they love their mother. It's adorable. So we move forward, and I got really excited when I saw that Amanda had a friend on the show. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to see Amanda and how she talks to normal people in her life. Like, we're going to see Amanda in her element. And then I was so quickly disappointed to learn that this was not Amanda's friend. It's her wedding planner. Womp, womp. And they're doing beginning phases of wedding planning, which is really exciting for Amanda, I'm sure. So here we go again with Amanda being like, I make in a month what my husband makes in a year, which is like, I wish she would stop saying that. It's not empowering. It doesn't feel like the right level of girl boss. And I say this as someone who's like been around plenty of women who out earn their husbands. And it just feels like even if you are a fully empowered woman and your dream career, dream job, dream outcomes that you wanted for yourself, like part of that outcome should be having a partnership and being really grateful for the partners that you have, whether it's your business partners or your love partner. And to me, and maybe Amanda doesn't have partners in her business, but to me, it's like, if that's how you talk to the person you're laying in bed with every single night out in public for everyone to see, if you're disrespecting them to that level, and I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because maybe she doesn't think it's disrespectful, but like, it's not kind, and it wouldn't be kind even if the genders were reversed and she was a man talking about their wife like that. Like, ew, like, Amanda, stop it. Oh, as much as I never want to give Amanda like us points, she did do something that was relatable in this scene. Is she was talking about having her interfaith wedding that she's planning, specifically a Christian Jewish wedding. And as someone who just had an interfaith wedding that was a multicultural wedding, and it was lit and so fun, and we did the hora and we smashed the glass and we did a Soul Train line and I pitched a softball and we had a prayer and we did a blend of all of the things, and I felt like it was so fun and it felt so representative to us as a couple. So I love that Amanda's doing that, and I'm excited to see kind of how that pans out for her, because for me, we nailed it and it was a great time. But the last bit about Amanda and the wedding planning that, again, just felt weird is she said she wants to have a boss lady moment at her wedding. Like, what does that even mean? Like, a boss lady moment. I want to have a boss lady moment. I thought it would be a boss lady moment. It's like, who talks like that? Like, what? A boss lady moment at your wedding? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, that sounds stupid. I'm feeling spicy on the mic today. Like, that's stupid. What? Like, a boss lady moment. Like, not, I want to feel like a queen. I want to feel regal. I want to feel lovely. There's so many other words to use to talk about how you elegant, like how you would want to feel on your wedding day, and you want to feel like a boss lady on your fucking wedding day? Ugh, give me a break. Amanda. Ugh. But she did get a like us point regardless. See? Empathy. Erika and Kyle go shopping, and I love what Erika is wearing on this shopping trip, because I feel like this season, and maybe because Erika's just tired and she's like, look, I'm on this show. This is my job, and I'm done with doing hyper glam for moments I don't need to. But in the past, Erika shopping would have been her in 7-inch heels, like the skinniest Louboutin stiletto. She would have been wearing like leather pants and like something crazy big coat in any other season of the show. But Erika at this point, dare I say it, we need to get, okay, you guys, I just had an idea. I think Erika needs to talk to Iyanla Vanzant. I think we need Erika Jayne and Iyanla Vanzant to have a sit down. Do you remember when Iyanla had that sit down with Lindsay Lohan? Do you guys remember that? Oh, no, she didn't. That was Oprah with Lindsay Lohan. The same difference. Iyanla Vanzant in that show, Iyanla Fix My Life. I think that's what we need. And it should have the effect that Oprah had on Lindsay Lohan. It should be like, we're going to sit down and we're going to try to fix things from the inside out. And the thing is like Erika, obviously, like Iyanla's not going to fix Erika's fucking legal issues that are through the wazoo. Like no one can help Erika do that except for a really good lawyer and a lot of money. But I do feel like Erika you can see she has an open wound on her heart. And I feel bad for that. And I do wish that she could talk to someone. We saw the therapy session last week with Dr. Jen. But I feel like Erika needs, dare I say it, Erika needs somebody to come in and just like bust that heart wide open so that she can start healing again, and I feel like for her, she'll be like, I'll heal when the money is not going out. But like, I don't know. I feel bad for Erika. Anyway, when Erika and Kyle are shopping, Kyle continues her shit talking of Dorit. She's on tour right now. She's on a press tour. This is Kyle on a press tour. This whole episode is Kyle being like, let me talk to everybody about Dorit because maybe eventually someone will talk to Dorit. And I guess like the way she's framing it is that it's not shit talking because she's just bringing it up to people who will talk to Dorit. And I would believe that had Kyle not had that same conversation with Amanda. Do you know what I mean? Like if Kyle had only gone to Boz and Erika about this, it would not feel like talking shit. But because Kyle repeated the whole conversation with Amanda, it now feels like you're not doing the thing you're doing. You're just airing grievances to anybody who will listen. And then you hope that other people act on those grievances. Like I don't like it. What I did like though is when Kyle and Erika are ready to check out, she goes, should I use my card or Mo's card? And Erika's like, girl, you better use Mauricio's card. He's got to pay. She said, we need to bring it back to the time where he paid and was happy about it. He'll be happy to help. And we should bring him happiness. Then Erika's like, I've been through enough shit. Mauricio can pay for these outfits. Also, it's like a tax write-off, so she's not wrong. And I love that. Hilarious. So now that everyone knows that they're going to Italy, they're all packing for Italy. And what the cutest thing was in this like little packing montage is Dorit is practicing her Italian all by herself. She's like packing and speaking Italian as she puts things in her bag. And like that's how you know you're a real yapper. Like this is a thing that a non-yapper doesn't even know. When you're a true yapper, I am one too. So Dorit is my people in this way. When you're a true yapper, you don't shut up when there's not people around. You continuously talk. You find things to say to yourself. You're practicing conversations. You're talking out loud. Like it's like, you know how they say like babies when they're learning to talk, they talk in their cribs by themselves because they're like practicing language. That's what a yapper's doing. They don't grow out of that. They're just constantly talking. And Dorit is being really smart because if you do want to go speak another language, you do have to practice before you go to the country. And so she's just like reframing her conversations in her head to speak Italian because she probably doesn't have anyone to practice with. And I love that. I love that she lived in Italy for so long that she learned this language and that, she's just having this moment to herself. I thought it was adorable. Now we move back to Sutton. And Sutton is saying that she wants to befriend Amanda on the trip. And it's Sutton and Boz that arrive to the private airport terminal first. And Boz mentions that she separated the girls into 3 groups. And so it's Boz, Sutton, Amanda, Natalie, who we don't know a lot about Natalie, but she's on this trip, and Kyle. And that's group 1. And they're all going to travel together because it will prevent there from being too much drama or people just being overwhelmed. And that's smart because this is like a 15 to 16 hour travel day going from Los Angeles to Italy. So Boz is like, we got to give people a break from each other. Let's keep it easy. And I also think that it was good for Boz's politics to go with Kyle and Amanda. That was also a really smart move, is Boz not just going with Dorit or Erika, which would have been easier conversations for her to have, but for her to be like, I actually feel like at this moment in time, traveling with Kyle and Amanda and Sutton and then Natalie, the new girl, like that was a good group decision. So I liked the group setup. The other group is Dorit, Rachel, and Erika. And Dorit is late again, which is honestly starting to come across as like something that the producers are telling the ladies to bring up. Like, oh, Dorit's late. Talk about it. Because like I get that she's late and I get that they're bothered by her being late. But I also feel like it is something about this particular time about Dorit being late felt contrived. Because they're like, her bags aren't even going to get on the airplane. Oh, what's going to happen? But then, like, she showed up. She hasn't even left the house yet. And, like, baggage claim closes in 30 minutes. And, it was all just so weird. And then she showed up. And it was fine because they're still flying, even though it's not private and it's a commercial flight, they're still flying out of that like little private terminal. And so it's not like she was going to have to go through like Gen Pop and go through like, you know, her TSA line without pre-checking or whatever and just get there. Like she still had access. And I don't know. I think we need to give Dorit a break. Like she's running late, you know, like as long as she makes the flight, whatever. But when she arrives, Erika's like, girl, we were going to cuss you out. Like Erika's so Southern for that. I love it. I think it's hilarious. And Rachel's like, I was stressed for you. Everyone was stressed for her, but Dorit makes it. And speaking of people who are a mess, Kathy Hilton is also being a mess. She's like, oh my God, did I bring this bag? Do I have my pillow? She's like, all these things. And then you find out later that Kathy lost her phone on the airplane. Like she left her phone on the airplane. What a mess. Like, what a mess. 16 hours later, Group 1 arrives to the villa. And this villa is absolutely beautiful. Like, by far, this is one of the most beautiful Housewives location trips we've ever seen. But I feel like it's because you can bet on Boz. Like, Boz is a marketing guru. And you better believe she was like, I know how to get us a great hookup in Italy by pitching it and doing all these things. And she said it was her friend who offered it to her. And that's probably true. But I also feel like what a great opportunity to showcase your 1,000 square foot villa on national television. And Boz got the hookup and it looks fantastic. Now we get we turn Housewives kind of into like an HGTV show. We get a full tour of the villa and the bedrooms. And then honestly, the episode kind of ends almost abruptly to me. Like there was nothing really that happened. And maybe it's because next week a lot's going to happen. It didn't really feel like a lot is going to happen next week. So I'm confused. But the conversation that ends the episode is Sutton and Amanda that are just talking. And like, it's almost like in my notes, I wrote Sutton calls a business meeting for Amanda because it did feel like a business meeting. She's like, so what's going on? And then she's like telling Amanda about how when she first got into the group, what she needed to do. And she's trying to give Amanda advice and kind of trying to keep Amanda under her wing a little bit. And Amanda's talking back to her. But then Sutton in her confessionals is like, Amanda needs to use her grown woman's voice, not that little baby voice that she has. Let's use our 40-year-old woman's voice that has a business, which I thought was funny. But then that ended the episode and it was so weird. Like, I don't know what was going on there. We'll see everything next week. And just like that, it's a wrap on the episode. So let's get into the scorecard. Now, I feel like this week, like I said, was a filler episode, but also this might have been one of our lowest scoring episodes to date. There were not a lot of points passed out because, to be honest, it's not that everyone wasn't relatable. It's just that there wasn't really anything to sink your teeth into in any of these scenes. It all felt pretty surface level. And I feel like I did give Sutton the like us point for eating the ice cream, but even that I had to debate because it's like eating ice cream is almost too surface level, you know? Like it's like, what did we learn about Sutton through her eating her ice cream? Not much, but it got her a point on the board. Now, the other person that got a point on the board is Amanda. So our lowest two are now no longer the bottom two. It's now the bottom three because with Sutton and Amanda both putting 5 points on the board with their one relatability point this week, that puts them tied with the friends of with 35 points apiece. Now, right above them is Dorit with 40. Boz lands before Dorit with 45, Kyle with 50, Rachel with 55, and Erika Jayne with 65. Now, it's a really tight race. Most people only have a 5-point lead, if that. So it is still anyone's match. Now, I think that what we'll see in this next few episodes over the course of Italy is either everyone be completely relatable and we'll go back up to high scores, or it will go back to some quieter episodes because, you know, as we got promised in the trailer, the girls are going to be fighting. We'll find out. I'll keep keeping track. And if you are following along, you can update your scorecard too at erinjw.com/keepscore. If you're listening on Spotify or YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, share, leave a comment. do what you need to do to help continue this show. Also, make sure to follow me on social media at Erin Jones-Wesley and the podcast on @LikeUsPod. Thanks so much. We will chat again next week.